Welcome, here I've got ASUS ZenFone 8 Flip and I'm gonna show you how to use the camera promote at this device. Let's start by tapping on the camera button to open it, and for now we are on standard photo mode. Let's change it by using this settings bar and just simply going to the right to more. Here we get access to other modes of this camera, and one of this is the Pro mode, so let's pick it. Here we are, now we can start using it. This mode gives us possibilities to choose some shooting parameters by ourselves. This is useful when we want to learn photographic skills or making experiments with photography. So let me start with this settings bar. Let's go from the right. The first one option here allows us to pick the white balance, so the temperature of our picture, and it depends from the light we have in the area where we take a photo. We have this slider and we can manage it by going to the left or right in Kelvin degrees. We have also the small icons that suggest us which light should be good. So we have the tungsten light, then the white fluorescent light, daylight, the cloudy light, and this is how to use this. As you can see, this is kind of balance between the warm and cold tones of our picture. Of course, there's no problem to go back to auto white balance. We have to just tap simply here from the left on this auto button. Now let's move to the second option, the exposure compensation. Here we can manage the light of our picture, and we have this slider. We are on the center on 0. By going to the right, we can make our picture now more bright. By going to the left, we can make it more dark. And to go to auto exposure compensation, we have to slide to the 0 again. Now let's move to the next one option, the ISO. Here we can change camera's sensitivity to light. We can make it less sensitive from 25 or more sensitive to 3 and 2000. So this is really wide, just like this kind of camera. And of course we can easily go back to auto ISO by tapping to the auto button from the left. Now let's move to the next one option, the shutter speed. So we can manage now the time of taking picture. By going to the left, we can make it shorter. Let's check how the shortest is 1/10,000 of seconds. So this is really short, and it should be definitely to objects that are, for example, in move, to frozen them at the picture with a good light. By going to the right, we can make it longer, and the longest here is 32 seconds. And of course, to go back to auto shutter speed, we have to tap to auto button from the left. But I want to show you also the shutter speed connected with the ISO, because these two parameters together are kind of exposure compensation. And as you can see, we can now manage the light of our picture, and we don't need this option here. The exposure compensation is locked, so if you want to use this parameter, you have to be on ISO or the shutter speed on auto settings. So now this is unlocked. And now let's move to the next one option, defocusing. We are on AF from autofocus. By using this slider, we change it to MF from manual one, and we can use it, as you can see. We can of course go back to autofocus by tapping on this auto button from the left, but I want to show you that we have also one extra thing here, the reset option. So when we adjust all of these parameters together, we don't have to separately reset them to auto settings. We have to just tap to reset, and all of this goes back to the auto. Now let's focus on this button, the manual. Here we have C1 and C2, and these are kind of parameters where we can create our kind of filter. So when we adjust all of these settings, for example, maybe let me go back to white balance, because we can see it here the most. We are on custom one. When we go again to manual, we have these parameters on auto, and of course we can use this, but it saves us our settings. When we go to C2, we can, for example, adjust the white balance to the warmer one, and maybe the shutter speed to shorter. So now when we go to C1 we have this kind of white balance, to C2 we have this one with shutter speed 1 and 500, and when we go to manual we are on auto. So this is really useful when we want to have quick access to our parameters, and of course we can reset them by tapping on this button. So now we can start using the C1 from the beginning. And now I want to show you also some extra things in the left corner. So let's tap to this button to open the advanced camera settings, and here let's start with camera resolution. When we pick it, we get access to our camera aspect ratio connected with the quality, and here in the promote we have RAW plus JPEG. So when we tap on it, it saves our pictures in RAW format that is used by professional photographers to taking pictures with more quality, more details, and post-producing them in graphic programs. So this is really pro option, but of course you can go back here to the standard JPEG. Now let's slide to the metering mode. Here we can pick between center weighted and average, only in the promote. And in the other category in these settings we have also horizontal level option, so the camera leveler and the histogram. By using these buttons from the right we can of course turn them on and off as we need. Now let me keep them turned on, and in the camera now we can see the histogram here in the left and the leveler at the center, so it is useful when we want to be sure that we hold our device steady and when we want to take really straight picture. And this is how to manage all of these settings. Now let me use them to take the picture. So maybe let's go to kind of cold white balance, and let's stay on exposure compensation 0 because I want to use the ISO and the shutter speed together. And defocusing also we can adjust here. To see my photo, let's move to the left to the button that follows us straight to the gallery, and this is how it looks like. I of course suggest you to making experiments with all of these settings and just have a good fun. Thanks for watching, subscribe our channel and leave the thumbs up.